Hi, my name is Lillian Michelle. Some people call me Lily's Touch. I was born in Haiti. My parents sent for me when I was 12. But before I came here to America, I remember growing up and I had aunts that used to do hair. And I used to sit there and watch them all the time. And some of you guys might not know the term I'm about to use, but that was the term that we used in Haiti, kaka permanent, which means, you know, when you're doing a relaxer, and then as you are like combing the hair, some of the relaxers coming off of the comb. So we use the rest of that relaxer from that person's hair to do another relaxer, another head rather. So I used to take the kaka permanent and I would use it on my own hair, and I would play with my hair, and you know, that's where the passion started. I used to love to do my hair.
My name is Margaret Ambroise. So my history with Lillian is that of one that is very, very significant and important. We grew up together. We lived in the same neighborhood when we were very young, very small.
My name is Elita Clay. About Lily. I've known Lily since 1993-94. We were in middle school together. We used to go to North Miami Middle School. Well, at that time, ninth graders were in the middle school. So I was in the ninth grade when I met her. We had classes together and stuff. It was very nice. Lily was always a go-getter, a nice type of person. You know, she really had no time to waste.
So when I came here, I wanted to continue on to that journey. I wanted to be able to have my own shop, run my own business, and do hair. So by the age of 12 when I got here, I already felt like I knew the path to take, if that makes sense. So my parents, I told them I wanted to do hair. So there was a salon that was not too far away from where we were staying. So I told my dad I wanted to start going there and braid, because I started out as a braider. So I used to go there on Saturdays and I would braid people's hair. And I would do washing sets. And oh my God, those moments were like the most precious moments to me, because I was so in love with hair. Like, I was so passionate, you know. So when I told them that I wanted to be a hairstylist, like a career, they didn't quite understand it. You know, like, I remember when my father told me, like, he wanted me to do more, but I couldn't think further than that. I was so stuck on hair is what I want to do. So as I got older, I went to North Miami Senior High, and I got introduced to this program, the cosmetology program. And I wanted to join so bad. Like, I just did not want to go to school if cosmetology was not in it.
I'm Renee Green, and I'm a teacher at North Miami Senior High, and that's where I met Lily. Of course, we didn't call her Lily back then. We called her Whistleen.
I was so determined. When I got to the class to register, they were full. I was so devastated. I was like, no, I have to do this course.
So way back when she was in my program was full, and I taught cosmetology in the high school system, and she really wanted to get in. She had come from Haiti about 5 or so years before, and she said, you know, please let me in. I know you're full, but I see the opportunity here, and I want to use every opportunity, as she put it to me, that this great country gives me.
So I kept going back and forth to my teacher, Ms. Green, and I said, Ms. Green, I really want to join this program. Like, I want to do it so bad. So she said she don't know what she could do, but she'll get back to me if anything opens. So every day I would go to her while I am in the, I believe, 10th grade. Ninth grade or 10th grade, I'm not sure. I was going back and forth to her. And then eventually, I guess the Lord see how bad I wanted this. He allowed an opportunity. And I went to her and she was like, oh, you know what? There's one spot available. And guess what? I was not the only one that was waiting. So that means there was a waiting list. And because I was persistent, I was going back and forth to her, I got picked to be in the course.
And so I said, oh, how can I say no to that? So I made room for her, and Lily never said no to any assignment. We used to do customers. So they were going to school, and customers from the real world would come in and they would practice what they were learning how to do. And she was always the first one that want to take on that customer and try that new thing.
So I took the course and I was in it for my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year. When I tell you that was the most important decision I made by being in that program, that thing kept me away from a lot of negative things, from a lot of drama, from a lot of fights. It just kept me focused.
And now we see where that gets you. Hard work and determination. She's really, really shown all of us what we can do with this business.
And I'm so appreciative about that program. And I'm so appreciative for Ms. Green, because she could have called another student. I'm pretty sure there were students that tried to come in before me, but I was favored. I appreciate that so much. So that was the beginning of my cosmetology journey. After I graduated high school, I found out I was pregnant. So I told my boyfriend at that time. So I told him that I had so many ambition, so many plans, so many things that I wanted to accomplish. I did not want this pregnancy to ruin it. So he told me, you know what? Let's get an apartment, because I know it's tough at your house, at your parents' house. Let's get an apartment and we'll figure it out from there. So now after he got the apartment, life started to get just a little bit clearer, right? So I started doing hair at home, and I started braiding, and I enjoyed just doing hair. So I begun to have clientele. People was coming in, like I was busy. I was making money. So I was feeling like, you know what, this is definitely the route that I want to take. And I didn't even take the cosmetology test yet, the state board yet. So after a few months after the baby was born, I decided to take the test. And I nailed it. And I knew a lot of girls that was taking that test and they was not passing. They took it 2, 3, 4 times. They was not passing this test. So I hesitated from taking it because I was scared. So my first try, and I passed. I was like, you know what? This is meant. Let's do this. So I didn't take no time. I decided to start working at a salon. Because when you do work in a professional salon, you're going to learn more. When you're at home, you're not going to learn the newest things. You're not going to learn how to really improve your craft. So I took the salon route, and it was this one salon that was just opening. It was like in the community where I was staying at. And when I heard about it, I said, you know what? I'm going to check it out to see if they're looking for hairstylists. So I went to G's Hot Spot. That used to be the spot to be. So I wanted to work there.
Hi, my name is Lovely. I met Lily when she was working at G's Hot Spot years ago. That was in high school, and now I'm a woman of a certain age. So Lily has been doing my hair for years now. I have a deep admiration for Lily. We have become friends in the chair. She knows a lot about me. We talk about certain things that I don't even mention to other people. Over the years, Lily has been my go-to person for anything related to hair and beauty. I recommend people to her. One thing I remember is the G hotspot days and when in the beginning.
So she hired me. So I was a braider there for a couple months. Then after a couple months, I noticed, man, like I could be making more money doing hairstyles than braids, because braids take all day long. And when you styling somebody, it does not take that long. So there were hairstylists in there making money. So I was like motivated then, like, oh no, I want to make that type of money.
Any girl where in high school, they would want to know, where do you get your hair done? You would say G's Hot Spot, and everybody would know who that is and who Lily is. But the thing is, if you didn't know the rules was there was this paper. You had to, when you don't have an appointment, or you do have an appointment, you have to write your name on the list. So you have to get up really, really early. There's a list that goes on the door, and then you write your name on the list. And that's how they would say, hey, this person is next and this person is next. But if you didn't know the rules, you would just sit there waiting. And there would be girls sitting there waiting, not knowing the rules, that, hey, there's this list, you gotta get your name on it. So literally, prom time, homecoming, whatever it was, we would get up at 5 a.m. to go put our name on the list. My parents thought I was crazy. Like, why would you do that? But you wanted to go to Lily, so you did what you had to do. You would sit in your car and just wait for Lily to come and do your hair.
So I told her, you know what, I'm ready. Instead of paying a percentage, I want to rent the booth. I don't want to do percentage, because percentage, when you give 40 or 50% of whatever you make, you end up not making as much as somebody else that's renting a booth. Because if you rent a booth, if it's $150 for the week, you paying $150. And if you make $1,500 for the week, you only removing $150. The rest is yours. So I started thinking a little bit different. I said, you know what, I want to rent the booth. So I rented the booth from the owner. And she was kind of shocked too, because I'm just coming in. I didn't even have clientele like that. And now I'm talking about I want to make a commitment to rent a booth other than being on percentage. So she was like, okay, we're going to see how you do this. So I rented the booth. And I'm telling you guys, I didn't have clients for real. But because I made that commitment, I had to bust my behind and do what I needed to do to make sure I paid that $150 every Saturday. When I tell you that was the beginning of me seeing this entrepreneurship thing, that's the goal. So I started working hard, saving my money, because now I had plans. Like, I wanted to open my own shop. Like, I wanted to be a boss. Like, I just wanted to be able to have opportunities for other young girls like me. So I found a location. It was not the best location, but I knew I could make it work. So I got the place. We didn't even have a lot to open this shop, okay? We literally had 3 months to put down. First, last on security. And everything else we got along the way. And that's how I opened my first shop. We was not there for too long because my boyfriend, dad had a business next to us that was a dry cleaner. So there used to be a lot of bums hanging around in the area. And I was like, oh no, this is not the image. This is not the look Lily wanted. So I was like, I have to move to another location. So I begun to start looking for another location. And here it go again. We only had 3 months of rent. You hear me? Nothing else. Rented another location in North Miami. So now I was closer to the customers that knew me prior, which everybody was excited now. So now I opened my second shop, but that shop was way better than the first one because now I'm in a better location. But when I moved in, we didn't have no furnitures. So I remember my boyfriend then went to Home Depot, got everything he needed to make salon stations. There was not glamorous or anything, but when I tell you I was so grateful, them things look good for me. So we were ready for business. So I decided to call it Divas. Because I just felt like I wanted everybody to know Divas come here. So that was one of the hottest spots in North Miami. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of beauticians worked in this shop. And I watched them blossom throughout the years. So we developed a lot of talents from Divas. Man, we used to be so busy. I'm talking about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We still working, doing hair. Like we be tired as hell. We working 7 days a week. I know I was one of them. I had a couple other ones that used to do it too. Those were the days. So one night, as I was closing, while I was waiting in front, my boyfriend then and my children was there as well. This stranger came out of nowhere behind me and had a gun to my back. That was the most terrifying moment ever. Watching my children there, having to see that, I was like, oh my God, what's about to happen next? So he came, he's like, give me everything you have, give me all. So I just gave him everything and like, oh, okay, just take whatever you need. And my boyfriend then, he was being difficult because this man asking him for his wallet and he's acting like he's not hearing the man. And I'm like, come on, man, you need to give him whatever he needs.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Precious, better known as No Sweats on all platforms, y'all go find me. And I'm here to talk about my beautiful mother. Like, my mom has helped me get through life, get through trials and tribulations. Like, sometimes, people get a mother that's not supportive, that's not hardworking, that's not independent. You know what I'm saying? Coming home late nights, 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, which is really dangerous. I don't watch my mom get into I don't watch people rob my mom. I've been there every single time because of her taking the chance and the risk of being out late, trying to make sure she's able to get the money to pay the bills, to make sure our stomach is fed, like I said.
So finally, he handed him over the wallet. And after he took the wallet, he is running, but as he's running away, he have this gun still pointing, as if any minute now he might change his mind and just start shooting. All I remember was me praying to God and asking God, please have mercy. I would not want my children to see this. By that time, my kid's father and I, we were married. It was tough because I was a young mom, young wife, entrepreneur. Like, it was just so much things that was developing. And, I just didn't know how to handle everything. I was so busy in the shop working. And there's a lot of things that I was not there to do at home. So eventually our relationship had issues. So I had to deal with us being separated. I went through a lot of trauma around that time because I never wanted to be a single mom. Never. Like, I fought against it so many times. I tried to settle to deal with it so many times. But then I realized I had to choose to love myself. So, we were separated. That was the worst moment of my life that I had to face. And it was reality. So I used to bury myself working, so I would not think about my reality. One day I decided, you know what? I just want to give up everything. I didn't care about the shop. I didn't care about nothing. I just didn't care about money. I just wanted to just hide somewhere, just give up everything and just try to just cope with myself. I was depressed. Imagine when I graduated high school, I was young, pregnant. And I never really knew how to be on my own. Because right after high school, I was now living with this man. So I never knew how to do for myself, how to be on my own. Even though now it feels like, damn, like Lily, you came a long way by yourself, but I didn't know I was gonna be able to do all of that on my own. I was terrified to face that. So that caused me to go under a depression. So it was a girl in the shop that wanted to have her own shop. So I came to her and I asked her, was she interested in purchasing that shop? And she was like, yeah, that's a great opportunity. So I remember I went to my landlord and I told him what I was about to do. And he was like, I don't think you should do that. This is a gold mine you built. Like, you started this from the ground up and everything going so well. Like, this shop, like, we used to be busy all the time. That was the spot. I just couldn't do it. It was just so much going on. So I decided to sell it. After I sold it, I was still working in the shop. So now I'm running the booth. I started to feel like, Lily, what did you do? You just sold the most important thing after your children away. And now you are working in the shop to be reminded about this mistake every day. So I was like, you know what? I need to open another shop. You see what depression can do to you? So now I'm already thinking about another shop. So now I looked around and I found this shop in this area that's called Opalaka. Back then, I didn't even know what Opalaka was all about. I didn't know that was the city. I didn't know what they had going on. I just saw the location. It was nice. It was big, very spacious. The layout was nice. I loved the place. I fell in love instantly. The rent was cheap. I'm talking about the place was maybe about 3,000 square feet. And I was paying, I think, $1,500. Like, where you do that at? So I was sold. I rented that place. And after a couple months, I don't even think we did a good 6 months in that place. We experienced the worst experience ever.